All right, so looking at the standings, we've got a big surprise in the AFC. Coach Matty and the Raiders 6-1, and let's talk about why. It's nothing flashy. They're not turning the ball over. They're not getting sacks. Joe Burrow being efficient. The trade of Miles Sanders for Fred Warner looks great. They haven't played anybody. Let's talk about that. They're 6-0 against teams with losing records, 0-1 against opponents with winning records. But the rest of the schedule, they've got the Panthers next, and then it's all losing teams the rest of the way. And so there's a real chance that this Raiders team wins 12, 13, 14 games, locks in a top 2 or 3 seed, and once you're in the dance, anything can happen. So shout out to Matty for getting it right with this Raiders roster. And then in the NFC, you talk about depth of talent. The NFC East, Dub is back. 4 teams over 500. Ponte, what do you got?
Yeah, this is the only division right now where everyone has an over 500 record. Giants have the most wins right now, 5-3. They just played in advance. Cowboys at 4-2, and Eagles and Washington both holding at 4-3. So the one thing that is probably going to separate them later is, of course, that division record. Giants have played the most division games. They're only 2-2. That might come back to hurt them. Right now, the Cowboys, the only undefeated team at 1-0 in the division. 1-1 for the Eagles and 0-1 for the football team. So, very likely at this point right now that probably we'll get one wild card out of this division. Hard to see if it'll be 2, just because they're probably going to beat each other up. A lot of division games left.
All right, that's a quick look at the standings. Let's get to the highlights in 2 games of the week this week. We start in New England. Bears Patriots tied at 14. 2 minutes left. And Ryan Leaf's going to hand it off to Jared Bailiff. And he's going to give the Patriots a 7 point. But Justin Fields has an answer. He's got Cole Kmet once for 25. He's got Cole Kmet a second time for 25. And the Bears are driving. David Montgomery punches it in. Tied up. 40 seconds left. Too much time for Ryan Leaf. He's going to find his favorite target. That's Dwayne Peoples. He picks up 20 on the dig, and he's going to go to him again on the next play. On the crosser, big gain into Bears territory. And the Patriots, on a walk-off field goal, win 24-21 behind a big day from Kaiser White. Fumble return for a touchdown. And if you thought that game was crazy, wait till you see what happened in Cincinnati. Bengals driving first half in the red zone. Nyheim Hines, he's going to put it on the ground. L'Jarius Sneed's going to go 87 yards to the house. And the Chiefs are going to tie it up at 13. Next drive, last play of the half, Cummings fires, and it's Sneed again. Mama, there goes that man. And he's going to go for his second defensive touchdown of the first half. Chiefs up 30-16. We move to the fourth quarter. Here's Cummings underneath the Hines. Big play, and now he's going to look for his favorite target. It's T. Higgins. He's going to scramble, he's going to drift, and he's going to fire on the run. Big dot, T. Higgins inside the 5. Next play, finishes it off on the slant. Touchdown, and the Bengals are back in it. But the Chiefs can put it away. 2 minutes left. Mahomes is going to pass, and Mahomes is picked. It's Von Bell. He's going the other way. 66 yards. Good stick work into the end zone. Bengals somehow tie it up. But Mahomes has an answer. He finds his running back Benson up the seam. He shrugs off a tackle, makes a man miss, and takes it to the crib for a big Chiefs win, 37-30, and an absolutely wild one in Cincinnati. L'Jarius Sneed, the obvious player of the game, 2 defensive touchdowns. Big day for tight end Corey Neighbors of the Bengals. And now we move to Coach's Corner. First, we're talking rosters. Then we've got what not to do on the 2-yard line on defense. So check it out.
Yeah, so my pick here for the worst GM move so far for the FML 2022 cycle is Estrada, the LA Rams. And we're just going to talk about this team and how they start and where they're at right now. So right now, the LA Rams, they start off, they have 99 Aaron Donald, 99 Jalen Ramsey, both X factors. Matthew Stafford, aging at quarterback, so that needs a replacement. They started with a great running back in Akers. Easily can be developed into an X Factor guy. Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. There was a lot of aging talent on there with a couple of 99 X Factors. All right, they're the only roster right now without an 89 rated player or above. We've had 4 seasons of doing all the training every week. That's a lot of devs, okay? And in 4 seasons, there's not one player that's 89 or above. So let's talk about the roster then, all right? Because you started off with an aging Matthew Stafford. You know you had to move on, probably get to a younger quarterback. And Dak Prescott, 31 years old, 88 overall, and you're paying him $30 million a year. You might as well have kept Stafford in a wheelchair. It's the same thing, all right? And then on the defense side of the ball, this is an old home. Leonard Floyd, 31 years old. Oyamada, 31 years old. No Aaron Donald, by the way, right? Even Joseph Day, 29 years old. There's no influx of young talent.
And here's the real challenge. There are 156 players 89 overall or better in FML. So at best, his best player is 157th in the entire league. That's not good enough. That's not good. He had 1 and 2 to start the year, and now he's got 157 and no X factor. He's got a lot of superstars, 15 superstars, 0 X factors on the roster.
Yeah, and in a division where he can get to the playoffs. Kuzi right now has been kind of rolling. He's been able to own that division for the first few seasons, but the rest of that division is wide open.
It's the worst division in FML.
Whoa! Leave that hot take for another show that has disappeared off the face of the map.
The Seahawks are on their 3rd user, right? Can't get it right. Rebel. I'm the president of the Team Rebel fan club, and he just can't get it done. And then you've got to start it on 7.
I've known Rebel personally. I've known him since this kid was like 16 years old. He's my son. I can't. I gotta disown this kid. Okay. No more money for you, Rebel. No more for you.
He lost his allowance.
It's my fault. I'm sorry. I've let you down.
I want to talk about the Lions. So the Lions, whoever the user is right now, and no offense to the Lions user, it's just really no point of learning your name at the moment. It's like trying to learn mom's new boyfriend's name. Like you got to be here for a while, then maybe we'll figure it out afterwards. But for now, so the Lions have a young quarterback. They have a great running back. They have a superstar wide receiver. I mean, like all these guys were brought in through the draft. And they're loaded at tight end. They get another drafted tight end. I think he's a superstar also. And then you still have Hawkinson, and of course the O-line was developed. They have a lot of good pieces on that offense, and really just takes a consistent user and a smart user, because really, really good offense. They have a really promising defense. They have pieces along the defensive line. They have a good secondary. Not great. They have a couple holes there.
So if you're GM of the Lions, what do you do from here to the trade deadline and in the off season? So next season you're in the mix for wild card division with the foundation that's been set.
I would do the unpopular GM agent move, and I would get rid of Hawkinson. The reason I get rid of him, I think he's 28, 29 years old. He's got a high overall. Somebody out there needs a tight end to just dump the ball off to. He's got a real window to make a run to either dump it for draft picks or package your draft picks to go sell for a proven player, because although he has talent, an X factor in a couple of spots there, I mean, like I said, he always a couple of pieces away, and Hawkinson not really doing anything for him right now, especially as a young superstar talent right behind him.
Last segment, we went over a what to do or how to do something. This week, we're going to do a what not to do. So this is 4th and 2, end of the half. the 49ers come out in an empty set. The defensive setup right here, they're in a 3-4 bear. So, and defensively, they just have put wide linebackers, 4 of them on the field against wide receivers. So, not really what you want to do in the personnel matchup. I do understand that you're at the 3-yard line, so possibly you could go maybe nickel or a big nickel to get an extra DB out there. Otherwise, you're going to get outrun. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to play the clip a little bit, and you're going to notice here that the defense, he hits the base line. He then presses, and now the outside receiver is completely unguarded, and it gets a throw for an easy touchdown. So this has nothing to do with, oh, Madden got me. Oh, Madden did me wrong. This has everything to do with multiple steps of doing something not good along the way. Number 1, didn't wait for the offense to pick their play. Number 2, didn't personnel match. And then number 3, went to base a line and press with your outside defender on number 2 to the point where he couldn't get out on number 1. This is an easy touchdown, not only in real football, but in Madden football. And one of the things that I like to tell people is stop playing Madden and play more football.